Bond here from Dr. Pennsylvania. Today's past periodical comes from the Honesdale Citizen. Honesdale is the county seat of Wayne County, which is the northeasternmost county in Pennsylvania. It was published on July 8th, 1913, and the headline reads, Friday, July 11th, vote for brick paved. And if this article does not convince you of the need for brick paved roads, then I don't believe anything will melt your icy heart.
Friday, July 11th, vote for brick pave. Next Friday will tell the story. Upon the 11th instant, the voters of Honesdale will rally around the polls at the courthouse between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. to cast their vote, either expressing their willingness in favor of increasing the indebtedness of Honesdale or voting against the proposition. From the way the conversation is drifting, it appears that the majority of taxpayers are in favor of voting for this improvement. Of course, there are some who oppose the paving of Main Street, but they are few and far between. The paving is going through, according to all reports. There is a certain element which claims that taxes will be a great deal higher if the indebtedness is voted. However, this is not true. The increase, if any, will be very slight and hardly worth talking about. The proposed $14,000 increase in indebtedness will go into municipal bonds, and the taxpayer will not realize any difference in his taxes. A good illustration of this, and at the same time a strong argument in favor of the pave, is the new school building. There has been no increase in taxes to the taxpayer since the schoolhouse was erected. There is a sinking fund provided to taking care of this indebtedness. The school tax is 6.5 mils on the dollar, and no increase has been made in several years. What stronger argument can be set forth than this? If it will work with building a schoolhouse, surely it will work with paving a street. The paving of Main and Park Streets is looked forward to with considerable pleasure on the part of the businessmen and merchants of Honesdale. Not only 1, 2, or 3 blocks will vote solid for brick, but every block from the State Bridge to 4th Street. If the property owners favor the improvement so strongly, why should others worry about the pave? Main Street is not only used by property owners abutting the street, but by owners of automobiles and parties having horses who reside on the other streets and who say it will not benefit them. This kind of talk is absurd. Any person or party who has access to Main Street ought to be thankful that he will have a good street to ride upon, providing the pave issue is carried. Automobile owners desire good roads, and they will be the ones who will use Main Street. This, in our opinion, is a very flimsy statement to make and sounds more like child talk than anything coming from a grown-up citizen and a taxpayer of the borough of Honesdale. There is not a citizen in this good old town but would like to see Honesdale become a lively, bustling city. It can lay the foundation by paving Main and Park Streets. It would give the town a higher rating and standing in the outside world, presenting in a marked degree the stamp of progressiveness on everything that is connected with Honesdale. Additional pave testimony. Neville Holgate says, I heartily approve of the proposition. We are in a progressive world today. By all means, pave. Will H. Hiller says, yes, and the sooner it's done the better. In answer to your second question, first, save the money that the town now plants in mud, but which never sprouts again. Second, add greatly to the appearance of the town and so secure the respect of visitors. Third, cleaner streets and therefore a healthier town. W.J. Rife says, have been paying taxes for good streets for 30 years. Nothing to show for it but mud. I want to see something for the money. Paving will do the trick. The foundation of a live and beautiful city is paved streets. Let us put in the foundation. F.F. Schuler says, I think the paving of Main Street will be a great benefit in general. J. Oscar Terrell says, I surely want Main Street paved and am ready to bear my part to have it done. H. Showerholt says, I certainly am in favor of paving as it will have to be done sooner or later. Anyway, now is the time as each year's delay will add to the cost of labor. The Reverend C.C. Miller says, I heartily favor any movement that will benefit our town. Paved streets will. It means cleanliness for the town, a lessening of burden on horses and wear and tear on vehicles, and enhances the beauty of our town. M.E. Simmons says, yes, if council has assurance that the state and street railway will assist to the extent stated in the newspapers. Good roads and streets are always beneficial to any municipality, first, because of the convenience to the traveling public, and second, because good streets are, in the broadest sense, the most economical. W.J. Barnes says, yes, provided there is an economical expenditure of the money and an absolute elimination of any kind of graft in performing the work. It would increase the valuation of property, add to the health and beauty of the town, and certainly would be a great help to the horses, which every spring and fall have to wade deeply in the mud. Main Street Alphabet. A is for Adam's Ale, a plenty it does take to rid the street of dust and keep the merchants awake. B stands for backward, something the town has seen until council said pave and advertised keen. C is for Caulfield, president and brave, who said in a meeting to pave is to pave. D stands for doubtful, a plenty we own who don't understand until they are shown. E is for economy, hobby of the saver who's against crushed stone and howls paver. F stands for fancy, moss backs and tightwads say, pave may be alright but please not in our day. G represents gold of which Main Street glistens, but to brick pave the majority listens. H is Honesdale, most beautiful today, but dirty Main Street drives beauty away. I represents indifference, many who don't care whether the vote is carried for brick or air. J stands for Johnny, who voted for mud. This time he's for brick if it costs him every dud. K is for kicker, known in every town, fights every improvement 'cause it's $1 down.